What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Oscar De La Hoya tripping, man. He trying to get attention from every angle. First, he hating on Canelo, and we know that he hating on Canelo. You know, Chavez passing the torch, Canelo leaving him, suing him, and Oscar don't like any of that. So he been hating on Canelo, but Canelo got bigger fish to fry, so to speak. Too much to deal with. No time to entertain Oscar De La Hoya or fight with him. Now, Oscar De La Hoya is taking aim at none other than Floyd Mayweather Jr. And, you know, Oscar's claiming he felt like he beat Floyd the first time. You know, gave Floyd the fight. Anything he could say to get underneath Floyd Mayweather's skin. You know why? Because Floyd Mayweather brings the money. Oscar De La Hoya is looking quite desperate out here, man. Will in the building. Yo, what's good with you, Will? Appreciate you. Iceman. What's up, Iceman? So, yeah, back to Oscar. So, now Oscar's taking aim at Floyd, and it's not as if, you know, he's still off for the Canelo hate, because he's not. And I don't think that's going to stop. You know, shout out to D-Style, G-Funky, D-Style Boxing, G-Funky. Hispanics causing panics. We was on their live. I was on their live last night, the round table. If you guys haven't been there, check it out. It's a great platform. Get a lot of boxing minds. They invite other boxing minds from the community to come kick it with them about boxing. But last night we was talking about this nonsense with Oscar De La Hoya and this hate and vitriol for Canelo Alvarez. And like I said, man, it's just sour grapes. You know, it's plenty of reasons for Oscar to be mad at Canelo. That was his golden goose, right? That was definitely the breadwinner for Golden Boy, and Canelo took off. So that's one reason for him to be bitter. The money, you know, people always get bitter over the money. Number two, this Chavez love, you know, all this Julio Cesar Chavez love and the passing of the glove, and you know the comments Oscar made, like, you know, we fought the level of competition. He's not really what people think he is, and you know the Instagram posts. Shut up, talking all that shit. Knock your ass out. You know, that type of stuff. So the hate is there. And I don't think it's going anywhere with Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo Alvarez. But he's moving his attention over to Floyd Mayweather. And that's because he wants the money. You know, anybody trying to yak off at the mouth about Floyd Mayweather for whatever reason to get him into the ring, they just trying to get paid. People could talk all the junk they want. All of these fighters, ex-fighters, whatever. They can talk all they want about Floyd Mayweather. He's still the money man. He just proved that in the Logan Paul situation. All of that money he made for that silly-ass fight, man. The guy's the money man. Money made. So Oscar De La Hoya is desperate. He's desperate. Iceman said, I heard Oscar versus Mosley. Interesting. I don't know. Monty Brown TV, salute, brother. Salute to you. G-Man boxing in the building. Luis Puente. What's good? He said, D Donut King Jefferson. Yeah, man. You still remember that? People was asking me to bring back that donut shop, man. That was pretty cool, though. But it just kind of, I don't know, man. I didn't get the same feel when I went at the damn Tim Hortons place. When I was at the Tim Hortons place, it was kind of cool, right? I had the rack of donuts behind us and all that, but anyway, back to Oscar and this nonsense. And I'm not going to be too long this morning, guys. I actually got an appointment. I wasn't going to get on at first, but I was like, no, let me not do that. Let me get on and speak to my people's G-Man, my man G-Man boxing at lunch, you know. Got to give him a little talk for his lunch break over there in Ireland. What's up, G-Man? Puerto Rican rum, mi hermano. So, look. So, Oscar going after Floyd, clearly, that's just for money, bro. Clout chasing, money, whatever. Does Floyd entertain this fight? Sugar Shane Mosley, how does he entertain this fight? I don't think, I'm not sure. I mean, Oscar's looking for crossover matches. UFC fighters, he's talking, about getting in there with a UFC fighter. Financial troubles, man. How many people talked about carried on and on and on about Floyd Mayweather's financial troubles? This is why he keeps coming back to boxing. He has financial troubles. Funny to me that his net worth, since this narrative about Floyd having financial troubles, his net worth on Forbes has continued to rise. Like, you remember when 50 Cent had troubles financially? That number went down. Mayweather's continuing to go up. His number is continuing to go up, which means I don't know all of these financial woes everyone's talking about, but he's still the money man. And you know why he's still the money man? Because he does silly fights like with tension, making $10 million in freaking 90 seconds. He does fights like this with Logan Paul, where after the promotion and everything, reportedly the fool made over 100 mil. I don't know if the numbers are solid or not, but still, like, come on, bro. If he's making money like this, where's all of this broke stuff coming from? Yeah, I know he buys the fancy watches and cars and stuff, but $100 million worth? Well, it's not that many cars. You don't even have that many cars. Like, come on, bro. Floyd Mayweather is maybe loose with his money, but he damn sure knows how to pull it in. That's what he's showing. And Oscar wants a piece of that. Oscar wants a piece of that pie. He's got to recoup. He's got to recoup the losses that he took from losing Canelo, because definitely piling up. Usually X Games, money made. Yeah, that's money made. But Oscar's desperate, bro. UFC fighters, Canelo, Shane Mosley, Floyd Mayweather. Bro, you supposedly face head, whatever, Golden Boy. You're supposed to be setting fights up. See Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn and these guys are at work setting fights up. Oscar trying to get into a fight. Mind blowing to me right now. Golden Boy is a much, 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 much bigger entity than TMT. So Floyd doesn't have, this huge stable of fighters, this big business that, as far as in the boxing game, you got to worry about Tank and a few others. Oscar, you got a whole stable of guys. You should be running around in the media like Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum and Bill Haney, and you shouldn't be trying to get in the ring. And the only motive that I can believe that he's trying to get in the ring for, financial reasons. Just that simple. Like, the hate for Canelo is mad because of the loss of finances. That's one of the main reasons. And then he felt, he probably feels he's entitled to accolades or praise from Canelo. Canelo's like, F you, man. I don't hard recoil, salute in the building, D in the mighty chat. Appreciate your hard recoil. My man Tony Boswell in the building. What's good, Tony? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Heading to work, but listening. That's what's up, my man. That's what's up. Appreciate you, Tony, all day, every day. He said, I don't know if he's broke. Expenses can drain any account, especially if you spend more money than you earn. Who are you talking about? Oscar or Floyd? Because Floyd, nah, bro. That's a narrative that I never really was with anyway. I mean, the guy was bringing in too much money. He can spend all he wants. Yeah, he spends irresponsibly, but is it really irresponsibly when you got that much more money in the bank and that much coming in? There's a lot of misers in the world. Guys that don't know how to have fun. All they know how to do, all they want to do is make money, make money, make money. Well, Floyd wants to enjoy some of his money. And because he's abrasive, arrogant, and abrupt with showing off his money, so the hell what? Because he's you know, he likes to floss and spend. So what? He's earning the money. You know, people of a lower income are so judgmental. And they talk about how Floyd's blowing off money, this, that, and the third. What happens when people who's making like $250,000 or less? What happens when the majority of them hit the lottery? They go out and spend. There's a good deal of people that way. The working class man, make $250,000 or less, that wins the lottery, and they go broke. Why? Because they want to spend the money and have fun. Now you got a guy like Floyd Mayweather, who's estimated by Forbes to be close to $1 billion or at $1 billion now, broke. But you got a guy like that that's buying Rolexes and Bugattis and Rolls Royces and fancy houses and flossing his money, and then people are talking shit about it. That's because people, pardon my French, but people are talking crazy. But that's because people at a low income mindset is all screwed, bro. You can point fingers at Floyd and say, well, he should do this with his money. But what are you doing with your money? And if you came into that kind of money, what would happen? Clear examples, a lot of these young athletes that come into money in their careers broke because they're not accustomed to having it. However, Floyd Mayweather's continuing to go up. So to me, that was a narrative. You guys know what I do over here. I debunk narratives. I don't care if it's for a guy you like or a guy you don't like. To me, that's just a silly narrative. The dude's not broke. He's getting richer by the damn day. Oscar, I'm not saying that he's broke, Yuli, but what I'm saying is that he's having financial troubles. And that I believe, yeah, he's having financial troubles. Oscar must have an RIP in his pantyhose. Oh, man, Tony, much respect, Ice Man. You guys crazy. He said, who has De La Hoya have to promote outside of Ryan? He needs, yeah, but okay, so that is his marquee fighter, but Golden Boy has a lot of damn fighters on that stable, bro. They have a lot of fighters on this stable. So, again, yeah, he does need to pick up. You know, they need to do some scouting, get some more talent in there. Because Ryan, to this point, I don't care how they try to pump him up. That kid is just nothing but hype. Ryan's a hype job, and I said this a long time ago. And until he does something, he's a hype job. How is it that Tank Davis can come in and do the things that Ryan is doing? And soon off, he begins to be called a hype job. But it took, you know, a lot of these people that were supporting Ryan Garcia, that were calling me a hater and dumping on D. Jefferson, listen to their tune now. Go look at their videos now. That's all I'm going to say, man. These other channels out here, you know, months ago when I had to say what I had to say about Ryan, I caught a lot of hate. I caught a lot of vitriol behind that. And go look at these same channels' videos now. And I ain't mentioning no channels, so don't start that. But y'all guys know. You know where the heat was coming from. Go look at their videos about Ryan. It shouldn't take you that long to catch up to the fact that the dude's a hype job. He's clout chasing. He's ducking. He's on that Floyd Mayweather Tank Davis path. He and Oscar De La Hoya. And until he starts to do something, that is my perspective of Ryan Garcia. He's a hype job, bro. He's a hype job. I don't think that Ryan Garcia deserves the right to be in Four Kings or any of that. Why? Over a Linares win? So that's his marquee fighter at this point, but he better get some more talent at Golden Boy. For sure. That's Oscar needs to do that. Money is what people think will make them happy. I know people double my income with significantly less money. Facts. Because they spend it. They incur debts. You know how you spend money before you get it? You buy a house, you lease or buy a car. You know, you get monthly payments for amenities that you may enjoy. Next thing you know, you're making $5,000 a month and you're paying out $43.50. And if anything happens, You only have $650 to spare. So if anything happens, you go in the negative. And that's what happens, G-Man. And I know that you understand this, but that's what happened with people. They spend it all. Spend it even before they get it, before they go earn it. And now they have all of this stuff, all of these materialistic things that they have to have, or they feel like they have to have them. And now they have to go get that paycheck to continue to pay for this. You know, you shouldn't be in $1 million home if you're only making $250,000 a year. That's the reality of it. But there's a lot of people I know right here in America that makes $250,000 a year, but they're living in $1 million home that's been spread out over a 30-year freaking mortgage payment. Therefore, within that 30 years, if anything happens to that job, not source of income that they have coming in, because if you're rich, you probably have, multiple sources of income coming in. No, they have a singular job. And if something happens to their job, say a pandemic, the troubles start. So they spend it all before they get it, right? Hypocrites are fans, bro, because most of the fans are in the category of 250,000 or less. Point blank. Get off the Floyd hate, bro. It doesn't make no sense. It makes no sense. Floyd money draws interest of 10%. That's almost 60 to 80 million every 5 years. Floyd, tell them about it, Tony. Tell them about it, bro. Can spend on the interest and $60 million interest. It blow off 60 million. No sweat. You're not even losing any money. LT, mi hermano, what's good with you, brother? What's good? Passing by, pressing a like. Much love to you, bro. Gabe Lopez, what's good with you? Virgil Ortiz is Golden Boy's best fighter, in my opinion. He is. That's the man. All of this hype behind Ryan. Oscar, get your head in the game. That's the kid you should be putting all the attention to, running all the promotions. Gatorade signed the wrong guy. Maybe they should have went to Virgil Ortiz. No doubt, Gabe. Chain with Ice, what's good? Gonzalo, what's up with you, brother? Gonzalo in the building. Mi hermano, hey, good to see you, Gonzalo. Thank you for that picture, bro. I'm getting ready to put a post up because people were asking me about Mateo, man. Glad to see that little fella doing good. Let me see. How can I contact Saddam? Do I need to speak to him? I get his information. I'll Discord you his info. Gonzalo. I'll Discord him that for you. All right, guys. So enough about Oscar right now. We can talk about that a little bit. He said, hey, 8 for kicked out your channel. Who? Hey, what that mean, Gonzalo? Hey, Gonzalo, if you wanna guys, this link only for Gonzalo. Y'all know I don't do links in the morning. But I'm gonna put this link in the chat, Gonzalo, just in case you want to come up. All right, yeah, I got you, Gonzalo. I got you. G-Man said, shout out to Gonzalo. Yeah, I got you, fam. I'll send that to you after this live. I'll get that info and send it to you on Discord. No doubt, bro. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'll ask him. Definitely a mistake. Gabe Lopez said, this Oscar is having financial problems. That's a real shame since he made $500 million in the ring. Well, now think about this. So did Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield right at it, like 435 something. And then Mike Tyson, he's rebounding now. I think he's like 40 million or something now. At one point in time, he was under $2 million his net worth, but he's bounced back now. But they made that amount of money as well, Gabe. Here's the thing. Business, when people make a bunch of money, like, okay, the guy who won 270 something million on the Powerball is broke now, right? But he blew off money. Tyson blew off money. Holyfield had 30,000 kids and blew off money. Didn't do anything to make that money earn money. Whereas Oscar De La Hoya and business can really drain a lot of money, but that's not really blowing it off. And I don't think it's much of a shame when you lose in business. It's just, you probably should prepare yourself. I would say shame on the guys who win 270 million and then they're ending up broke in 2 or 3 years. That's a shame. Oscar with Golden Boy, bad business. Bad business. It takes a lot of money. You're making millions of dollars in boxing, and you're definitely spending millions of dollars, right? And that profit margin, if the business is not going the way it should, then you're going at a loss. This is a story of 2 brothers in New York, meat company, been in their family for 60 years or so. And they were grossing $50 million a year. However, they were losing $2.6 million a year. Now imagine that. They're bringing in 50, but they're losing $2.6 million a year because business can happen, Gabe. So I don't think, it's he need to get his head in the game, but he has something in this tangible that he can immediately get out of this hole. Whereas somebody without a business, without something like, he has Golden Boy behind him. So if he get his head in the game, get that straight, focus on Virgil, Frank, Ryan, and all of them, and start bringing that money in, he could get out of this hole. Where someone that just blew off 270 million, what are they going to do next? They were never accustomed to money. They never built anything. So Oscar's having financial issues because of business reasons, and he can get out of that. So, what's up, Gonzalo? What's up, brother? You there, Gonzalo?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, man? It's good.
Okay, wonderful, man. Jesus, because I bought these really nice microphones. Well, I bought one for my wife. It'd be microphones, plural. I bought 2 sets. I paid $15 a pop for either, for the 2 pair, for the 1 pair. That means 2. But here in the Philippines, but they were not working when I was calling, only when I was listening. So I bought this cheap pair where I can listen, but I can call and you can hear me. I thought it was my tablet going under, but no, you can hear me, I can hear you, but I can also talk. And I bought these for $1.
Ain't that something, man? You spend $50 for 20, 30 for something good, and they don't work, and you spend $1 and they work just fine. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Hey, that picture, man, that little fella's looking so good, man. His face looking full, bro. My wife, you brought tears. She started crying. She was at work. I said, babe, look at she just started crying at work. Well, she worked from home though. She wasn't on screen. But anyway, yeah, man, that's a beautiful thing, bro. I was glad to see that little guy. But look.
Yeah, I was at the Pacquiao camp. Who do you mean by little guy, Mateo or Pacquiao?
Oh man, hey, Pacquiao's looking good, man. He was at the camp,
man.
Yeah,
because by the looks of it, my butt ass looks like I got him sitting on my lap.
Yeah, me and you both, brother. Me and you both. That's how
he's a man's man, though, And I was up at the training camp, and I saw him last week. I was there with him.
He's looking good, man.
Yeah, I had to come take care of my dogs because the female's pregnant. But if not, I was invited to be in the training camp. As long as the Manny Pacquiao's here, I'm always welcome. But with the COVID, and he's got a lot of things going on with the politics too, with the COVID and the politics, because it's re-election time. They called out Duterte, so his schedule's kind of a little bit unpredictable.
Yeah,
but
dude,
I'm always welcome to come.
Ass, bro. That dude Rodrigo Duterte is on his ass, bro.
You saw that? Yeah.
I reported.
So
I was like, holy shit. I said, Manny,
he's got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, my live yesterday morning, Gonzalo, was Manny Pacquiao was involved in 2 fights at once. And I was talking about Errol Spence and Rodrigo Duterte. He's at his ass right now. So I'm like, wow, bro. And you know what's funny about that is that Pacquiao looked up to Duterte. Like, that was his guy that he looked up to. But now that he's the opposition, all friends aside, like, Duterte is up for the fight.
He made a comment and said that he's more corrupt than the prior administration. That's all he said. Duterte went up in flames.
Yeah, yeah. I was like,
And yeah, he called
wow.
out Pacquiao. But I mean, this might be the fire that might lit Pacquiao's flame. That if he needs something to fucking to put a fire under his ass, to be like, all right, I need to step up to the plate to
Yeah,
become the president, because the State of the Union address is on the 21st of when is the fight? 21st of August. But the
yeah,
State of the Union with Duterte. Not that I'm keeping always up with the politics of the Philippines, but I know that I think that 26th of June, Duterte is going to give a State of the Union. Then Pacquiao's going to fight on the 21st of June. What I'm saying is Pacquiao got the last word. If he delivers, he delivers. And that will really resonate with the Filipino people.
bro. If he beats
Right?
Spence, he's gonna win that fucking presidency, bro.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah.
If he beats
That's
Spence,
what-
he's
you got
always
it.
gonna win hands down. I don't care what Duterte does, he's gonna lose, bro. That dude beats Al Spence. It's so good. President Pac for sure.
Hey, but
What's up, box fans? In the field? So yeah, so I was talking about Oscar De La Hoya, and he's thirsty, man. You know, Canelo, all the Canelo hate. Now he's at Floyd Mayweather. You know, he's lashing out at Floyd. Oscar wants a fight, man. At first it was the UFC thing. I guess that didn't pan out. Now it was Canelo, and he's trash talking Canelo. Now he's moved over to Floyd Mayweather, and Oscar's looking desperate out here. He's looking desperate out here. But here's the next part of this live, guys. And Gonzalo, I'm glad you joined me. Here's the next part of this live. Triller Fight Club at MSG. Triller Fight Club just did a partnership with MSG and Hulu Theater. They're going to be doing weekly boxing. Triller is staking their claim in the game because let me tell you something, man. Venue like Madison Square Garden, this is a smart move because a venue like Madison Square Garden, it's almost a social venue. I used to stay in New York and I frequented all the time, and people go there socially. They'll spend money just to go there socially. Triller, putting on boxing, the weekly boxing events through Hulu, more promotion, and you partnering with Madison Square Garden like that. They're staking the claim in boxing because their numbers are going to stay good. They're going to consistently have good numbers at Madison Square Garden. People that don't even like or know boxing will show up to those events just because. It used to be that way at Knicks games. Motherfuckers that didn't even, pardon my French, but cats that didn't even like basketball was there. That's how Madison Square Garden is. It's a social type of venue. Doesn't matter what event they throw. People go to Madison Square Garden just to go to Madison Square Garden. Big move by Triller. Big move. What you think, Gonzalo?
Yeah. Well, my nephew just sneezed like 20 times in a row. I never heard anybody sneezing 20 times in a row. Maybe he got the COVID. Did you hear that? I had to go on mute. Yeah. Man, he fucking sneezed like 20 and really fucking loud.
Yeah.
And my audio's kind of low. But I caught a little bit about that, and hopefully I'm on the right page. Because I haven't ever heard like no narrative about the Thriller since fucking Jake Paul fell the fuck off. No, man, Jake Paul does not make Thriller. Even though they're starting kind of around at the same time, where you got Thriller as a professional company, pushing their brand, and Jake Paul is an individual pushing his brand. I mean, he's got a brother, so I mean, there's two of them. They're not twins, but they're brothers.
Yeah, Logan.
I'm saying, Thriller. Jake Paul does not make Thriller. He fucking fell the fuck off, and he went with what's the CEO for Showtime? Espinosa. Yeah, that fuckface. Yeah. He's when he wants to talk about boxing, he's got to mention MMA, and he's got to mention a whole hell lot of combat sports to really remain his company relevant. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say, really, that De La Hoya, he might be a little bit clowned upon, and maybe losing a little bit of like notoriety in his brand. The Golden Boy Promotions is a promoter with the stable of fighters, but as a name, uh, maybe Vito Belfort in the cross mixed martial arts where you got
Yeah,
a boxer facing a striker. Vito Belfort, yeah, renowned, yeah, steroid user, and De La Hoya not always lived up to the best lifestyle. But although Vito Belfort got good hands and he's bigger, facing De La Hoya who's smaller, but obviously he's gonna be weighing about 168.
all right.
But he's probably a little bit younger. About the whole thing with them two fighting, they're probably right around the same age. But Vito Belfort might be like 20 pounds heavier, and
Yeah,
he might not be on that juice that he used to coming into the MMA fights. But as far as striking, the dude got hands. But De La
yeah,
Hoya, he's a champion, so he's got greater hands, pound for pound, and he's probably gonna outslick, outland, and Vito Belfort gonna respond with some good hands. So it could be an
yeah,
interesting fight. And based on that fight, not cross promotionally, cross discipline between the MMA fighter with good striking skills and the pure boxer. This is gonna be the first fight between the two disciplines that's gonna set the world on fire. And it's gonna be fucking Oscar De La Hoya's fucking calling card in hindsight. Because he's been making a fool out of himself. But this fight, I'm telling you, Oscar De La Hoya, when he needs to step up, we saw it when he stepped up against Fernando Vargas in the losing against effort against Tino Trinidad. He's a fighter that's got a lot of heart. And fucking Vito Belfort, he got good hands. He's bigger. So the discrepancy in size and weight is almost gonna be like equal to par. What the difference is gonna be like almost make it into like a barn burner and exciting styles between the smaller pure boxer against the bigger mixed martial artist with great striking skills. And
yeah.
mind you, these fighters might not be on the juice, but they might also be on
Oh,
the
they
juice
gonna be on the
completely.
juice, bro. Both of those
Yeah, they're
fucking
gonna be on the
on the
juice
juice.
completely. No
Yeah,
holds barred.
I think
Yeah.
so. Ronald Finkley, what's good with you, brother? What's good, Ronald? Ronald said Suleiman worse than Espinoza at least makes bigger fights, and doesn't seem to care which entity, whether he gets to match up with. Yeah, but they're in different business in boxing. I mean, they're in the business of boxing, but they're different because Suleiman is the president of a sanctioning body, Ronald, where Espinosa is with a network. So they have like different responsibilities, and Suleiman's definitely worse than Espinosa though, because Suleiman is one of the biggest poisons in the game. He's up there with Paco and Bob Arum and guys like that. So definitely, when it comes to the worst of the worst, Suleiman's top 5, pound for pound. He's fighting with Arum and those guys like that for pound, worse than boxing. The biggest snake, I should say. Espinosa. Nah, I don't put Espinosa the type of slime that Oscar is. But this Triller move, though, to with Madison Square Garden is huge. I agree with Gonzalo. I think for a while though, Gonzalo, as much as people may not like to admit it, I think for a while you could say that Jake Paul was the face of Triller. It's all about numbers and sales. And the kid, him and his brother, because of who they are, the social media status, they're bringing in numbers. And you're going to need to bring in numbers to attract boxing fans. It also helped them attract that crowd that they're moving into this sport for, the younger crowd. So, and he did leave. So you can't say that, oh, he's the face of Triller or he's this, that for Triller now, because he ain't with Triller anymore. But I think while he was there, he's definitely responsible for a boost with Triller. He's definitely partially responsible for that. We can't negate Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, which I think is really what set it all off, because the views all around the people that did that fight. I decided to do the fight, and I think that was a mistake on my part, because I was like, man, I'm not doing that silly fight. But everybody's channel that I went to that did that fight, bro, they had massive subscribers from it, massive numbers. H Money, pretty much everybody know H Money. H Money had like, he got 2,700 subscribers that night, 390,000 views. Showbiz the Adult got over 1 million views and 16,000 new subscribers that night of that fight with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. So we definitely would have to say that Tyson Jones really set the stage for Triller to, step into the boxing world. But Jake kept it going, Jake Paul and that aura around him. Tyson eventually left and he was doing the Legends League, so he dipped away from Triller. That was all over with Mike Tyson. So they needed somebody else, somebody with a name to sustain them so that they could keep, staking their claim in the business of boxing. And Jake Paul did that. And now he left, but they've inked this deal here with Madison Square Garden. So forget about Jake leaving. And I think that the execs over there at Triller, they're doing a good job, with the entertainment side of the thing, how they're integrating hip hop into it, and the wacky commentary. Like it or love it, it's new. It's new, and it appeases the young fans. When hip hop changed, when it was more lyrical, and now and then it turned to, I get what they call mumble rap, and these young boys. When hip hop changed, older hip hop fans were disgusted. Newer hip hop fans loved it. But now hip hop is a worldwide culture. So change may not be to a lot of older boxing fans' liking, but change is inevitable. And I think that Triller is jumping on that train of change. They jumping on it, bro. And Jake Paul had a lot to do with that. So they lost Tyson. They lost Jake Paul to Showtime. And this move with Madison Square Garden, to me, is a winner. Because if you have ever been in New York or stayed in New York, lived there, I stayed in New York, and you visited Madison Square Garden, you'll know that's a place that's going to sell. So many fucking millions and millions of people stacked into this, pardon my French, stacked into those 5 boroughs, right? So you can feel that thing in the blink of an eye. Just like that, you can feel it. You can feel Madison Square Garden, and it doesn't even touch 1% of the people that live in New York City. Forget about people that come from different states and other part of the world. Madison Square Garden stays packed, fam. Yeah, ice capades and such like that, like the Disney on Ice. The daggone place would be packed for Disney on Ice. You'd be like, man, you got thousands of people here, 50,000, 20,000 people here for Disney on Ice? Yes, that's Madison Square Garden because it's a social spot. So Triller, big move. And then for the promotional side of it, to get it out there so that people know, they're also involved with Hulu Theater. So that's extremely brilliant marketing, and they're staking their claim in the sport of boxing by doing.
D. Jefferson. Let's talk about Chris Colbert, man. I want to tell you something. Chris Colbert. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what you got?
That motherfucker's a skinny dude. Maybe like you. I don't know. 135 pounder.
Yeah, about
that
like that's about right.
It's a badass. Look, even when I heard the name Chris Colbert, I watched his last fight. I don't have to know a whole hell about boxing. I got good boxing intuition. That dude is a good fighter. And you asked me, Gonzalo, how do you know that? I just know in my heart of heart that dude's fucking bad. And this whole Deontay Wilder fucking comments. No. Hey, both. It's enough. Hey, I don't even have to hold give him a more platform than what Ness called, what Chris Colbert called out Deontay Wilder. No, Chris Colbert's a bad motherfucker, dude. He's a good fighter.
Yeah, he is. He's a very good boxer. And we were talking about that as well on D Styles' channel yesterday. Hispanics causing panic. Chris Colbert and the things he said about Wilder, man. I don't think he should get any heat because Chris Colbert said a lot of things that people been thinking already. The problem with Wilder's camp, and I don't think it was Deontay Wilder specifically, but someone from his camp, PR, damage control, whoever. The reason they didn't want to hear it from Chris Colbert because he's an up and coming boxer, and it's that voice, him saying what he said, gonna get out. Like if D Jefferson says it, Wilder and his team, who cares? He's got
but what I'm saying, hey, just forget about his comments. Think about Chris Colbert now before anybody else, because I told you, not because I told you not, because my boxing intuition told me Chris Colbert is a good fucking fighter. Yeah, he's better than a lot of these motherfuckers and the poor fucking queens.
I would like to see him fight Shakur.
He's good. He's good. He can fucking beat Shakur. And do I have the evidence to prove that? No. But sometimes just on intuition alone, I can gamble before. If anybody else before me said that, maybe not. I wish I would have said it before because I always had the inkling that this fucking guy is a good fucking fighter.
Yeah, it's a couple of people that's been on here. They've been really big on Chris Colbert. Rebel Life, what's up, brother? No disrespect, man, but the morning shows, come back in the afternoon, 1:30 show, opening up the panel. The morning shows, I don't really ever open up the panel. I just got Gonzalo on here, special guest. But this afternoon, 1:30, brother, I see you backstage, but the panel's usually closed for the morning show. But I appreciate you, dog. But yeah,
sorry, D, because I got a little bit of a background noise.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's very faint. Yeah. You can't really hear it that much. But Chris Colbert is nice. Boxing fans say, "Hey, I hope they are." Haha. Yeah. Ronald Finkley said, "I just tried to get a perspective on Gonzalo in your conversation." He said, "I'm shocked D Jefferson likes Triller." Bro, I don't really dislike. Okay, I'll give you something, Ronald. Bob Arum. I don't really dislike Bob Arum. He's just a snake. It's like the fans is top rank Bob Arum. He's a hero. I bring them back to reality with Bob Arum and who he is. But do I dislike him? No. As far as Triller's concerned, I don't dislike Triller. Triller is bringing attention to boxing. So why would I dislike him? And if they do something smart, if they do something good, like any boxer, Tank Davis or Jamal Charlo. I'm not a Jamal Charlo fan the slightest, but when he performed the way he performed against Derevarenchenko, I was out there supporting Jamal Charlo for that fight. So it's no hate. That's what I say with me, Ronald. It's no hate. It may sound abrasive, like when I talk about, well, I don't like Demetrius Andrade. I will say that. I don't like that dude. I only got one event from Fight TV so far, and that was because I wanted to support the GWOAT. Oh, yeah. Clarissa Shield. Chat Ross in the building. What's good? What's good? Rebel Life. What's good, brother? Jerome Benjamin. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. But I just think it's a no, it's all good, Rebel Life. It's all good. No problem, brother. No problem. All right, we'll talk about that this afternoon then, because a lot of people have. Let's talk about Chris Colbert this afternoon, and then we can talk about his comments to Wilder, because that seems to be. Well, I just kind of talked about that though. I talked about that yesterday. We'll speak on some this afternoon.
I'm glad as Nestor Gibson stepped up to the plate, because he's got a big platform. And what he said, I'm glad he did, because all of a sudden, for the sake of boxing, if that dude got 127,000 followers, whether all the followers are listening in or not, that's the biggest platform. So when this dude stepped up and said, when Wilder is fucking calling all these narratives, it comes a point in time where the common man's gonna catch up and say, like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? But for the sake of boxing, I'm glad he said what he did, because it's got to carry some weight and some credibility. Because if not, what the fuck is gonna happen? For the sake of the sport, he might dilute the fucking product, because a lot of people believe what you say, and he got the biggest platform. I'm not saying that people entirely will believe it's bullshit, because a lot of people are reading between the lines that fucking Wilder is full of shit. I'm not saying that he does not possess what another man has, the fucking punching power, the blackness in his skin, like I have the Mexican in my skin, like my son has the Filipino Mexican in his skin. That's not anything to be disputed, right, D Jefferson?
That's right. That's right.
I'm never gonna question. I'm never gonna question your fucking what is it called? Can I say your blackness? I mean, where you're from?
Ethnicity. Ethnicity.
No, of course not.
Right.
That you might be the toughest. I mean, not. You might want to call me out for a street fight because I mean we all seen better days, but you lived a tough life too, and
No, I
people
wouldn't
know
call you out for a
when you're
street
speaking
fight.
real and when you're not, right? D.
Let me tell
Jefferson?
you something, Gonzalo. I've been in a hell of a lot of street fights, but you know why I wouldn't call you out for a street fight? Because you've been in the type of fights that I ain't been into, man. You was in the wars in the military and all of that kind of stuff, bro. I wouldn't call you. I would think twice. I'd be like, hold on, let's talk about this, Gonzalo. There's no need to get so brash.
Yes, yes, and no, but at the same time, you can perceive what the energy that everybody else is bringing to the table, right, D? You can
Yeah,
perceive
no
the
doubt.
energy,
No doubt. No
even
doubt.
from a world class fighter and the sport, whatever the race is. We're perceiving the energy that these fighters bring to the table,
All right.
and
Hey, man, I'm
we
gonna wish
cannot
Chris
cancel
Colbert.
culture fucking Chris Colbert because
Yeah,
pound
I'm
for
gonna
pound,
wish.
he's a good fighter, but obviously Deontay Wilder's a bigger man. But Deontay Wilder, man, the excuses, they hit the rubber and the road, see it the cross. This ain't fucking what is it? See you at the cross. What's that group name?
Oh, the Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Bone Thugs. Bone
The
Thugs is a great group, but at the
crossroads,
same
you won't be
time, man,
lonely.
you gotta beat your maker. We all
No,
never wanna die. I
I
miss my
don't
uncle
want
John. No,
to die. Hey,
yeah,
Ronald said big weekend of boxing, primetime Colbert versus Tug. Hey, talking about that, speaking about that, yeah, that's going to be a fight. Nayambaya and Colbert. But speaking of that, bro, this is excellent. It's excellent because I hated the Gamboa fight. When Showtime released that card, and the two fights that really just made me want to throw up on that card. Everything else I was cool with. But Juan Montiel and Charlo, which actually turned out to be a good fight. It shouldn't have been for Charlo's sake, but it turned out to be a good fight. But that fight, I was like, that's trash. And then it was Chris Colbert and Yuriorkis Gamboa. I'm like, bro, they're passing Yuriorkis Gamboa around. What is Gamboa going to do for Chris Colbert? He's too good for that. He's too good to fight a Yuriorkis Gamboa. Then the boxing god stepped in and Yuriorkis had to get out of that fight and he gets tugged. That's better. That is a much better fight. Now, this is going to be a good fight, and this is a good test. I picked Chris Colbert to win this fight, but this is a much, much, much better fight than him fighting Yuriorkis Gamboa. So it worked out. It worked out, this fight with Tug and Chris Colbert. I think it's much better for him. He's going to shine, though. Colbert's got fast hand. He has good feet. He's a thinker in that ring. Combination punches, he moves well. Chris Colbert, he's the real deal. I definitely would. I agree with you, Gonzalo. He is the real deal. So many people are so high on Shakur, and I'm one of them. I'm high on Shakur Stevenson as well. But Chris Colbert hits harder than Shakur.
Absolutely.
He hits harder than Shakur. He's as fast as Shakur, and he has boxing acumen. That's a good fight.
Yeah,
that is a good fight.
Don't get sold. I'm not saying so cheaply because Shakur Stevenson is world class.
Oh yeah,
that's absolutely worth a lot. But do not get sold so less than don't get sold so cheaply for the sake of a better term. What Chris Colbert can do, because he got punching power and that's worth a lot. But he also got the boxing skills. So don't praise the boxing ability of Shakur Stevenson so high. So right. Fucking high. That means because we saw what he did in last. He was scared to get tagged. That he said I didn't like that. Nah, he's supremely skilled, but the supremeness don't undermine that by the supreme skills of Chris Colbert with greater punching power. That when you try to catalog the supreme skills and the punching power, and you try to mix up the two, where one guy possesses the two, or who possesses the less, to where and the grand scheme of things, one's a better fighter than the other. No, Chris Colbert, he's probably percentile wise, and power wise, he's probably more of a superstar, and more of a dangerous fighter, and more of a, why not say, a better fighter than Shakur Stevenson. Wow, no, because all of a sudden we want to say Shakur Stevenson is why? Because he proved, what, 4 years of being protected.
But who's
He's not a legacy fighter yet. He's not legacy yet.
No one. He ain't fought nobody. So yeah, I'm with you. You know who else is good, Gonzalo? You know who else is good, and people are not paying attention to him because
we're branding Shakur Stevenson with that iron brand, like they do the cattle in the Texas, where they stick that fucking the metal iron. We're branding him like a great fighter, when a lot of fighters in the first 4 years of the developmental stage, they're trial and tested, and a lot of tune-ups, that those numbers are circumspect to the criticism, and you would know that the better competition you face, those numbers drop. So I'm saying, do not brand Shakur Stevenson as a great fighter that you think he is, like Floyd Mayweather, in the latter part of his career, on the second half, right?
Right. Hey, I want to say this right here, Gonzalo. I want you to pay attention, or go look at this kid as well, because he has nobody's talking about him or anything. But I watched him fight a few times, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. Richardson Hitchens, he's fighting at 140. Richardson Hitchens. See, at 140, you're hearing about Zepeda and Josh and Regis and Ramirez, as you should. But nobody's talking about Richardson Hitchens. He's another guy. He's one of these.
He's a country kid. He's tough.
Yeah, he's like Shakur, like Chris Colbert, that boxing acumen. He doesn't have the greatest power though, but this guy can box. Richardson Hitchens can box, and I'm telling all you guys, if you haven't paid attention to Richardson Hitchens, watch this kid. He's gonna be a force. I'm telling you, he's gonna be one of those guys. Richardson Hitchens. I'll tell you this. He's going to be one of those guys. If you don't stop him, you're probably going to lose. If you don't knock this kid out, you're probably going to lose. So I'm going to keep my eyes on him. I think he's going to be one of those type of boxers. Like Devin Haney. Devin Haney's that guy. He's that guy. If you don't knock Devin Haney out, you're probably losing to him. You're going to have to stop Devin Haney because he's going to outbox you. I see that in Shakur. You don't knock him out, you're probably going to lose. I see that in Richardson Hitchens and Chris Colbert as well. I see that in these guys, but Chris Colbert, when it comes to Richardson Hitchens, Shakur Stevenson, and Devin Haney, Chris Colbert is, as far as boxing acumen, he's there with them, but he has more power than those three guys. That's the difference with Colbert. And I think Gonzalo is a good pick, man. Like, everybody keep an eye on Chris Colbert. But, all right, guys, we coming up on this hour mark. I got to run to the store anyway and get me some shells. But, Gonzalo, appreciate you, bro. I'm going to send you that information in a little bit here for Saddam.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, because Lobito just attacked my forearm.
Oh, my gosh. Lobito. Lobito loves you, man. That dog loves you.
No. Honestly, he fucking went crazy. Lobito.
That's why he attacks your arm. You be grabbing him and Lobito like, leave me alone, man.
He's mad.
Look at him. Lobito, you don't pull the bike, Gonzalo.
No, he's mad. He's 100%.
Oh, man, Gonzalo fell out. But, all right, there he is. But anyway, guys, yeah, I see. All right, Gonzalo, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Hey, everybody, BK, thank you, brother. Thank you, bro. I'll see you guys at 1:30. Gonzalo, I'll send you that information. Triller Fight Club, MSG.
I appreciate it.
Oh, no doubt, brother. Partnership, and Oscar De La Hoya is tweaking, man. I'll see you guys later. Y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.